Hello, dear students. Welcome to the online class. How are you? I think you all are fine. By the grace of Almighty Allah, I am also fine. This is Hasina Islam, lecturer, Department of English, Tongi Government College, Gazipur. This lecture is for the students of Honors 4th year. Today, we are going to start a new topic. To the Lighthouse by Virginia Woolf. You know, this is a novel written by Virginia Woolf. First of all, we are going to know about Virginia Woolf. Virginia Woolf was born in 1882 in London. She was not given a formal education. Virginia's mother died when she was only 13. This caused the first of several mental breakdowns. Virginia Woolf started to work as a tutor at Morley College in 1904 and wrote reviews for some books. Her reviews were published in the Times Literary Supplement. In 1905, she started meeting friends to discuss literary and artistic topics. Virginia Woolf also became a member of the People's Suffrage Federation and of the Women's Cooperative Guild. In 1912, Virginia married Leonard Woolf, who was a writer. 1 year later, Virginia suffered a deep mental breakdown. Her husband helped her to live through it. And you know, both Virginia and her husband were very interested in literature. Together, they founded the Hogarth Press in 1917. In 1927, composed To the Lighthouse, that is, this novel was composed in 1927. Virginia Woolf battled depression. Actually, he was very depressed, and on March 28, 1941, she committed suicide by drowning herself. She was tormented by sound of grenades of First World War. Actually, he was very much, depressed and tormented by the First World War. In her life, she had published over 500 essays and about 10 novels. Virginia Woolf did not use the traditional writing styles of her time. During her lifetime, Virginia had become a leader in the modernist literary movement. That is, he was one of the leaders of modernism and modernist movement. So, before starting Virginia Woolf's novel, you have to know a very important term, that is stream of consciousness. And in this novel, you will find different type of literary devices like symbolism, and this stream of consciousness, this is a very new concept. This is a modern concept, and this concept was used by several writers actually. So it means the name applied specially to a mode of narration that undertakes to reproduce without a narrator's intervention the full spectrum and continuous flow of characters' mental process in which a sense perception mingle with conscious and half-conscious thoughts, memories, expectations, feelings, and random associations. That is, it is a continuous flow of thoughts. Some important characters from this novel, here is the characters list I have given for you, and I think it will be very helpful for you. Mr. Ramsay, Mrs. Ramsay, James Ramsay, Andrew, Jasper, Roger, Prue, Nancy, Ken, Lily Briscoe, Paul, Minter, Charles, William Bankers, Augustus Carmichael, Mrs. McNabb, McLister, and McLister's boy. These are the characters of this novel. Now I am going to give you some information regarding some important characters of this novel. That is Mrs. Ramsay. She is one of the important characters. Mrs. Ramsey is a beautiful woman and a loving wife. She shows kindness and tolerance to her guests even if they do not appreciate her politeness. Actually, she is a very, Mrs. Ramsey plays this role of the ideal domesticated female very well, especially as a hostess during a dinner party. There was a dinner party there, and there she plays a very important role, and she could manage the dinner party very well, and she worked very hard to arrange the party. Another important female character here, Lily Briscoe, she is one of the important characters, and she rejects the conventional image of the woman represented by Mrs. Ramsey. That is, she is not the conventional representation of woman, but she is very shocked when Charles Transley supports the idea that women can neither paint or write. Actually, she loves painting. She wants to draw pictures, and that's why. And she doesn't want to marry, but she manages to put into practice Mrs. Ramsey's teaching. Mrs. Ramsey represents an example of life for her. So when she completes her painting, actually she completes a painting of Mrs. Ramsey, and it took a very long time. And at the end of this novel, we find that she could able to draw the picture. To complete the portrait of Mrs. Ramsey. And some other important characters here, already known about Mrs. Ramsey and Lily Briscoe. Then Prue Ramsey is the oldest of the Ramsey's daughter, and Rose, one of the Ramsey's daughter. Nancy, she is also a daughter, and Kim is another daughter. She is the youngest daughter. Okay, so I am going to show you about the episode of this novel. Actually, there are 3 episodes in this novel. First, the window, time passes, and to the lighthouse. Actually, the first episode is entitled as the window, second one is time passes, and the third one is to the lighthouse. And of course, these 3 parts bear significant meaning. There are some symbolic meaning also. We'll discuss it. Okay, so the structure of this novel, it is divided into 3 parts, and the first is the window. It is about 120 pages, takes place in the space of one day, and introduces all characters, setting conflict before World War One. Actually, this scene took place before First World War. Okay, so in this scene, in this part, we find the characters, setting, and conflict among the characters. Then time passes. It is about 20 pages, very short here, covers a 10-year period of time in the middle of the novel, in which the First World War occurs. Actually, in this part, though it contains 20 pages, it covers 10 years. It tells about the incidents of 10 years actually, and it took place in the time of First World War. Okay, and the last part, which is entitled as the lighthouse, it is about 60 pages, covers the return to the summer home after 10 years. That is, at the very beginning, you will find that this novel, takes place in a summer house, and after 10 years, the members of this family again visited their summer house. They returned to the summer home, and many of the original characters, they were not alive. Some of them are not alive, and after coming here, they could find the meaning of life. They could settle some problem over there. And now I'm going to discuss on several themes of this novel. This novel have several themes. First of all, time. Then means of life, that is meaning of life. What is the meaning of life? Gender issue, love, marriage, and immortality of art. Here, our writer shows the immortality of art. So, the several themes of this novel is given here. Okay, now I'm going to give you information regarding important themes. The most important themes of this novel are loss, that is, Minta loses her brooch on the beach. It has also a symbolic meaning. Ramsey family loses some of its members. Mrs. Ramsey and their daughter, one of their sons. Okay, they lost some family members. Then another theme, art. Also, women can do art. Actually, Lily, who wants to make the portrait, and she tries her best to make it, and at last she could do it. And here the writer wants to establish the view, that is, women can also do art. Transience, that is nothing lost, but Mrs. Ramsey doesn't want that her children grow up. That is, she wants her children not to grow up. Search, that is for God and for the true meaning of life. This is an important theme, one of the important themes here. Search for God. And lighthouse actually has another meaning. It has a symbolic meaning, and it has a spiritual meaning here, and it is also the search for God. And today I'd like to finish here. In my next lecture, I will give you a detailed summary analysis of this novel, and I think, of course, you will take help from your book and try to start this novel. Till then, Allah Hafiz. Have a nice day. Thank you.